All right, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. And the deal is when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Welcome back. Welcome to Saturday, May 4th, 2024. I still can't believe it's May. And we are going to talk about this district attorney, but we're going to have her slam herself. We are not going to have to do it. She will do it herself. Everything that she does in this little PR stunt where she's trying to make herself look as good as possible completely backfires on her. People can see through her. When we see a lawyer like this attain the position of district attorney where she becomes the prosecutor, liars and lawyers are synonymous. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to mention this right here. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I just found out about it today. Some people were sending it to me via email and through Twitter. Apparently, these two of these farmers right here were arrested, and they are sitting in a county jail because they initiated an ultrasound or ultrasounds on these animals on their private property. They're serving prison sentences for having harmed no one in the land of the free, home of the brave. I know you can't believe it, right? So I'll probably do a separate video on this. I want to read up on it, do a little bit of investigation myself, see if there's a background into any of this. If you've heard about it, put a 1 in the room, let me know. But, you know, we're talking about caging a man without charge, without trial, and without due process of law in the land of the free, home of the brave. So I want to go over... Yeah, put a 1 in the room if you want me. Can you guys hear me? Let's see. Does this even work? Are we even live? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I didn't test it on the back end. And sometimes in the past, I have been talking to myself and people are trying to get my attention in the room. 5x5. Thanks, Tag. Appreciate it, Scott. What's up, Tashanta? Gray Dude's here. Back Schmill's here with us from New York over there. Let's talk about Sandra. Where is Sandra? Sandra is going to decimate herself right now. I mean, soundly decimate herself. Let's listen to some of this interview. I think for the most part, the interviewer did a pretty good job holding her feet to the fire. Listen to this.
I'm going to start with a question I think everybody wants to know. Sure. Why didn't you stop?
I have no good answer for that. I regret what I did. I am sorry for what I did. If I could go back in time, I certainly would handle the situation a lot differently.
Remember, this is the prosecuting attorney. This is the district attorney for Monroe County. And she's been a district attorney for a while. She's been in this practice, in this business, the injustice system business for, according to her own words, the better part of 3 decades. And she's like, I don't know why I did what I did. Well, you did it because you believe you're privileged. Now, I look at this from a kind of a different perspective. To me, traffic law and drug war laws are not wars against drugs. They're not wars against people keeping people safe and public safety and general safety. They're wars against people. So traffic law, in essence and in practice on the public highways and byways, trumps individual rights, unalienable rights, constitutional rights, if you will. So when you have traffic law cannot apply to a real man of the land and the opinion of some. Who would have that opinion? But traffic law serves as a justification to violate individual rights and generate revenue for the state. When you generate revenue for the state, you're literally talking about a wealth transfer where wealth transfers from the people to the state. The state functionaries get more powerful, they get richer, and you get less powerful and you get poorer. That's what traffic laws are for. So in my opinion, Sandra didn't do wrong because she disobeyed the cops. She didn't do wrong because she didn't pull over. She did wrong because she prosecutes people on a daily basis for disobeying cops and for not pulling over. So she has become the cruddiest among us. She is a hypocrite, just to make that clear, because I don't think she did anything wrong in the traffic, not pulling over for the cops because they lit her up back there. Did she harm somebody? Did she threaten to harm somebody? Did she damage property, not pay for it? Did she steal property? If the answer to all those is no, then she didn't victimize anybody and shouldn't have been harassed by the cops. But since she was harassed by the cops, and the cops didn't treat her like they would treat the rest of us, and Sandra didn't think the laws applied to her like she believes the law applied to the rest of us, then we have all around hypocrisy, not only from Sandra, the district attorney, Sandra Dooley, but also the entire police department who was involved in this. So she says,
I am sorry for what I did. If I could go back in time, I certainly would handle the situation a lot differently.
she doesn't know. She said over here she doesn't know why she did what
I
she
have
did.
no good answer for that.
Why did you do it? I don't know. We know it's because of this right here.
I am the DA of Monroe County.
I am the DA of Monroe County. So the reason Sandra did what she did is because she believes she's higher than you. She has a higher claim over your property than life and property than you, and she can operate above the law and doesn't believe that you can do the same thing. That's why she did what she did. If she was completely honest in this interview, that's exactly what she would say.
I wish I could say this is why I didn't stop, but I have no good answer. I made a mistake.
No, she does have a good answer. She just doesn't want to say it. Well, I believe I'm above the law, and I act in such a way that shows that I believe that I'm above the law. This is patty cake. This is lying. This is deception. This is a public relations stunt, and public relations equals propaganda, and propaganda equals lies. Because we know what the body camera evidence shows.
So why didn't you just stop like you're supposed
Because
to?
I didn't feel like stopping on Phillips
Well,
Road
that's
at 5:30.
that's not your choice. You know that.
Well, I made it my choice.
Okay. Well,
She didn't stop because she didn't feel like stopping. Now picture yourself in the position of Sandra when the cop comes up next to you. Why didn't you stop? You saw my lights. You heard my sirens. I gave you a warning. I went on the loudspeaker and said, you got to pull over. Why didn't you stop? Well, I didn't feel like stopping. Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't feel like stopping. But the cop treats her with kid gloves because he recognizes she's the DA. I better not overstep my bounds, even though everybody's giving kudos to the cops and condemning Sandra, when both parties should be condemned.
What were you hoping to achieve?
Because the bottom line is the cops really didn't do at all to her what she would have done to us.
By calling the
Here, let's start over.
What were you hoping to achieve by calling the police chief 3 times during that incident?
To get out of
So
it.
the context is, you know what, I work with law enforcement every single day. I have every single chief's cell phone in my phone. When I realized that the officer was attempting to pull me over, I wanted to make sure by calling the chief that he knew it was me and that I wasn't a threat.
Hey, it's me, the DA of Monroe County, and your guys behind me, the DA, the premier prosecutor in this county. Call your dog off. I'm the DA, and I'll flash my dang badge. Can't you see I'm in my black SUV? Haven't you run the tag? Haven't you been clued in? This is where the DA lives. Leave her alone. She's got prosecutorial immunity.
That first call lasted approximately 18 seconds. Can I tell you exactly what was said in it? You know, I don't remember.
She knows it lasted 18 seconds, but she couldn't tell you what she said. Hey, Dennis, get this guy off my tail. I'm the DA. Who do you think you are down there?
Was that the wrong decision? Obviously, yes. It was wrong. I made the wrong decision and I regret it.
You were trying to get out of the ticket.
At that point, I wanted the officer to know that I was not a threat. And I'm sorry for that.
She should have just said, yes, I was trying to get out of the ticket. Wouldn't you? If you had the power that I've got, wouldn't you try to get out of the ticket? Wouldn't you leverage your power against the thin blue line? Look at this lady's face when she says it.
The wrong decision and I regret it.
Watch her face.
You were trying to get out of the ticket.
I love the look at, come on. That's the face of everybody knows it's a pile of steaming BS. You're just trying to get out of it. Come on, fess up. This is your chance. You called this press briefing, this conference, this interview so that you could clear the air and let everybody know what the actual truth is. This is your opportunity, but she can't do it. Sandra Dooley cannot tell the truth to save her life or her credibility.
At that point, I wanted the officer to know that I was not a threat. And I'm sorry for that.
Why not just pull over and tell him you're not a threat?
You know, I should have downloaded a laugh track. Let's see. I'm going to try to look for a laugh track.
I don't have a good answer for that. I made a mistake. I was not thinking clearly. It all happened so fast. If you understand, the area where, I first saw the officer to my house, it was a little over a minute. The whole thing unraveled so quickly. I made a lot of mistakes. If I could go back in time, I would certainly stop and handle it differently, but I didn't, and I was a jerk.
Yeah, you were a jerk, and you are still a jerk. You never stopped being a jerk. You're not stopping being a jerk. You're just trying to put on a good face right here so that you can have a little show and tell and little pretend face going on. But you're going to hear Sandra say a lot, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. It was a mistake. I made a bad choice. It was a mistake.
You told the officer to, quote, get out of my house when he followed you home. You resisted his commands. You went into your SUV. You went into your house. And at one point you called him an ass. Anyone else who did that likely would have been cuffed and arrested.
Cuffed and
I
stuffed.
absolutely regret everything I said.
She's not going to address that last part. Anybody else who would have done this would have been cuffed, stuffed, fingerprinted, caged.
I really have no words for my behavior. You know what? I could tell you that I had a bad day. There were things on my mind, but really that is no excuse.
It's no excuse that I had a bad day, so I'm going to use the excuse I had a bad day. I had a bad day, but it's no excuse. These things, I had to prosecute 3 murder trials, I think she said, in the last month. I'm having a bad day. She was nothing but excuses, trying to wiggle out of it, trying to leverage her power against the Thin Blue Line cult.
I was wrong. Police officers deserve to be treated with respect. Me, of all people, I've been the advocate for that in this community.
Let's play that again. What did she say?
Police officers deserve to be treated with respect.
All right. So is that true? Does any police officer that is any police officer that deserving of respect? Does a position where the person voluntarily signs on the dotted line to rummage through people's vehicles, to arrest somebody without charge, trial, or due process of law, to economically terrorize them on the roadside, do any one of those, especially like state troopers do any one of the cops that you've ever come in contact with or that you've seen on the internet, even if they've done something good, and then you discover before they did something good, they did a whole lot of bad things. And after they did something good, they did a whole lot of bad things. Does any one of them deserve respect? How can you get any kind of respect when your position is, I just follow orders? I don't do what is right regardless of what I'm told. I do what I'm told regardless of what is right.
Me, of all people, I've been the advocate for that in this community, and I failed immensely.
So she failed immensely. She made mistake after mistake after mistake, regrets her mistake. We're going to come back around to the mistakes here in a second. And what I think the interviewer should have asked her based on, I made a mistake.
I owe that officer an apology. I owe law enforcement an apology. I have nothing else other than to say, I am sorry, and it wasn't me. That's not how I act.
It is her. That is how she acts. That is how she feels about it. She's got the ring of power. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power attracts the corruptible, and it attracted her, and she's in it. And I'll be damned, she says later on in the interview, if I would ever consider resigning from this powerful position in Monroe County.
If you saw body-worn camera video of someone in your position who ignored those commands, would you push to charge them with more than just a speeding ticket?
What I would do if I was
Listen to her play politics with this.
doing something like this, I would look at the whole circumstances. Just like we do every single, case that comes in the office. You've got to look at everything that was going on, And I think that's what should be done in my case.
Were you under the influence of any alcohol, any drugs, prescription or not at the time?
All right, I had to cover Dakota up. He was digging around in his basket. He was trying to cover up with the blanket. The question was, if you were somebody else and you saw you do what you did, let's just put it that way, and you knew all the facts of the case, would you prosecute? Would you prosecute that person? And she plays politics and doesn't answer the question. Let's see. What's the exact question again?
Of someone in your position.
Yeah, here we go.
I have nothing else other than to say, I am sorry, and it wasn't me. That's not how I act.
If you saw body-worn camera video of someone in your position who ignored those commands, would you push to charge them with more than just a speeding ticket?
Hell yes. Hell yes, I would. I'm a prosecutor, and a prosecutor's job is to put somebody away and fill the prison industrial complex, number one, or at least generate a handsome sum for the injustice system. Yes, that's what I'm there for. I'm a freaking gatekeeper for monetary growth within the injustice system. That's my job. That's what I signed on for. That's what I do. That's what prosecutors do. Hell yes, that would be her answer if she was telling the truth. But she's not telling the truth. Go figure. A district attorney not telling the truth.
What I would do if I was reviewing something like this, I would look at the whole circumstances. Just like we do every single, case that comes in the office. You've got to look at everything that was going on, and I think that's what should be done in my case.
Because I'm a sympathetic prosecutor. I mean, I consider people, if that person was going through, trying 3 murder trials in 1 month, I would give them a break. No, that's not the truth, Sandra. You know it's not the truth. Come on. Get real. Stop trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
Were you under the influence of any alcohol?
Look at her face when she answers this question, because it so looks like she's lying.
Drugs, prescription or not at the time of this incident?
Absolutely no alcohol whatsoever. I left work at 5:20 and went right home.
Not making eye contact.
No illegal drugs. I'm always on
Looking off into
prescription
space.
chemotherapy drugs that I take, at least 3 to 4 times a week.
But not under the influence of any.
Nothing illegal, and nothing that I
That
believe.
just looks like it looks like. I'm not a body language expert or a facial recognition expert, but that just sure looks like she's not telling the truth on that.
It would have affected, my ability to make a decision. I was stupid, Jen. There's nothing else I could say, and I regret what I did, and I'm really sorry for it.
It looks like to the community, this is a clear-cut example of rules for thee and not rules for me.
I understand that, especially with members of the.
She says I understand it. At no point does she go, I agree with that. It does look like that. I understand that is not saying you agree or disagree with it.
Community, for example, white people and black people, we perceive, I submit, law enforcement differently, the criminal justice system differently. But all I can tell you is, as a DA, what I perceived. My initial thought, actually, when I saw the police officer turn around, I thought he was going off to another stop. Then he got a call for service.
That is a lie. And she's going to prove to you. Sandra herself is going to prove that Sandra just lied. Listen to what she says on this last part here.
The criminal justice system differently. My initial thought, actually, when I saw the police officer turn around, I thought he was going off to another stop.
My initial thought that I thought he was going off to another stop. Listen to what she says that day.
And half the time I was on the phone with Dennis telling him, why are you pulling me over?
So she knew she was, half the time I was on the phone with Dennis, the police chief, saying, why are you pulling me over? She knew she was being pulled over, and she knew she was being pulled over from the very beginning. Not 20 seconds later, not 15 seconds later, from the very beginning where the cop said that he initiated the traffic stop. And yet she's trying to convince us that, I thought he was going on another call and he was just behind me trying to get over. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't you pull over for that? She's absolutely lying.
I was on the
Here's another clip.
phone with Dennis Kohlmeyer saying, would you please tell the person who's following me that I'm almost
ma'am.
home.
So she knew she was being followed. She didn't have this feeling where, I thought you were going to another call.
Do you think I really care if I was going 20 miles over the speed limit?
And not only does she know she was being followed, then she called Dennis to say, why is your guy following me? But she didn't even care she was going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. She's lying during an interview where she's supposed to be coming clean.
I didn't want to pull over on Phillips Road. It was just, I figured I'd just pull into my driveway.
Listen,
Okay. Well,
And I called Dennis and I said,
Okay.
that's me that they're trying to stop.
Okay.
I didn't want to pull over. It's me they're trying to stop. But what it's, listen to this. You got to get this. This is so important to understand that she is absolutely incapable of telling it the truth in an interview where she's supposed to be telling the truth. Here's what she says. Here, let me cut that right there. Oops, what just happened?
My initial thought, actually, when I saw the police officer turn around, I thought he was going off to another stop.
That's not true. I thought on me, got on the horn with Dennis, told him call the dogs off. I'm the DA. I'm the DA in Monroe County.
It was just, I figured I'd just pull into my driveway.
Okay. Well,
And I called Dennis and I said,
Okay.
that's me that they're trying to stop.
Okay.
So that's the end of story,
And you knew why you were getting stopped, clearly.
clearly.
You could have.
I didn't want to stop at Phillips Road. I was right down the street. I figured I will just stop in my driveway.
So she knew she was getting pulled over, calls Dennis, and then she figured, well, I clearly knew what was going on, but I decided to go ahead and pull into my driveway anyway.
That's what I figured. I thought it would be easier.
Thought it'd be
I thought
easier.
you were going somewhere else because I thought.
Okay, now here's the lie that she told that day. So she said two different things that day, which conflicted with each other. This corresponds with what she just said in this PR interview.
I thought you were going somewhere else because I thought no one would ever pull a black SUV if you ran my plate.
So one of those is a lie. I choose to believe that she knew she was getting pulled over. She gave a call to Dennis to let him know, I'm the DA, call off the guys. You don't touch me. I've got qualified immunity. But even if that wasn't her initial thought, if her initial thought was, oh, I thought you were going on another call, then you know what the rule is, the rule of the road. If there's lights and sirens behind you and you don't think that it's for you, pull over so that he can get to his call. I don't know one state in the 50 states that doesn't have that rule where you pull over to the side when safe, when it's possible, so you can let the emergency vehicle pass. So even no matter which one it was, she decided that she would not pull over. She is an absolute liar, and she's proving herself to be a liar. This is really, really bad, but it's only bad in the sense that she's actually using this interview to convey to people she's telling the truth now. She's repentant. She's turned over a new leaf. She's not that person, when in fact, she is that person. That's the pattern of her life. That's her MO. That's her modus operandi. That's how she conducts the affairs of her life. She's got the ring of power. She knows she has the ring of power, and she's willing to leverage that power any chance she gets, even if she knows she's on body cam. She did it in full view of that guy recording her. She couldn't stop herself from doing it. Now she's in front of the camera trying to make things right, and she can't because she's incapable of making things right, because liars are still liars, pigs are still pigs, tyrants are still tyrants, and they can't be anything else. Once they've tasted that power, something happens. It's like there's this mental block. They can't go back to the way they used to be. Or maybe they were always that way, because like I said, power doesn't just corrupt people. Power attracts the corruptible, and those are the ones who fill that power vacuum.
And then when I called the chief, my goal then was to say, I'm not a threat, because I didn't want him to think he was approaching a car and not knowing what to expect inside.
Have you spoken with the police officer since this incident?
I have reached out twice to try to apologize to him, and the messages that I left were apologetic. I would like to actually sit down face to face and apologize with him, because I think he deserves that. I'm waiting to hear back from him.
I want to move a little bit into the ethical questions now.
There's a couple edits in this that make me question, were there hard-hitting, even more hard-hitting questions that were, I'll point out another one, but here's one that I just now noticed. But watch this, there's an edit right here.
That, I'm waiting to hear back from him.
I want to move a little bit into the ethical questions now.
There was an edit there, and then you'll see there's an edit in this other one where it looks like she was going to ask a question, or she did ask a question, and then they didn't continue on with the thread.
Some of the things you said during the traffic stop. You said, go ahead, write me a ticket. I'm the one who's going to prosecute myself. You know what I'm going to do with that ticket? Question mark. What would you have done with that ticket?
You know, Jen, I said a lot of things that were not pretty and that I'm ashamed of and that I'm embarrassed by and I'm sorry for. But I sent the ticket in by 1 o'clock the following day and pled guilty because I was speeding.
No, it wasn't because you were speeding. You sent the ticket in the following day because you got caught. If this news story did not go viral, she wouldn't have made that pretend corrective action. And that's all it is. It's a smoke and mirrors pretend corrective action to let the sheep, to let the lemmings know that she thinks, or let them think that she thinks that she's just one of us. Hey, I've got no special powers. I've got no special rights. I've got no special privileges, and I don't have any kind of immunity. I'm just like the rest of you guys. That's a lie. It's all a lie. And so here's what she said on that day that contradicts what she just now said on her PR campaign.
Then just write me the fucking ticket. I really don't care. Because I'm the one that's going to prosecute myself.
I don't care because I'm the one that's going to prosecute myself.
You know what I'll do with the ticket?
You know what I'll do with the ticket? And then she laughs. We're going to listen to this again. It's kind of hard to hear because it's only in one of my ears, so it's not stereo, so it's very difficult to pick up. And the body cam does not have a good audio port. It's not picking up good audio.
That's fine. I'll take care of it since I'll be prosecuting myself.
Okay. I'll take care of it since I'll be prosecuting myself. Okay, here, let's listen to all three of those again because she says it 3 separate times. She implies, without coming right out and saying it, but everybody knows what she's saying, that, hey, I'm not going to get myself in trouble. What are you, crazy?
Just write me the fucking ticket. I really don't care.
I don't care.
Because I'm the one that's going to prosecute myself. You know what I'll do with the ticket?
35.
That's fine. I'll take care of it since I'll be prosecuting myself.
And Duper's Delight written all over her face and through much of this interview.
I think people might hear you say that and they might say, gee, have you ever fixed a ticket for yourself or someone else before?
Yep.
For my, absolutely not.
Fix the tickets, bro. That's preposterous. How could you think that I would ever do such a thing? Look at her face.
Fixed a ticket for yourself or someone else before?
For my, absolutely not. You know, I've been in local courts, you know, helping because we've had a DA shortage. And when citizens come into, you know, the court that I was in, I would give them parking tickets and speeding tickets if they took a defensive driving class. So technically, I guess I have given offers to people out there. I wasn't even going to get a special prosecutor and ask for that courtesy for myself. I was just going to, you know, take my lumps and pay my ticket. I had a clean license.
No. I wasn't going to ask for that privilege for myself because she was going to prosecute herself. She wasn't going to sub it out to another prosecutor and say, hey, could you prosecute me? I did wrong. I was a bad girl. I broke laws that I always prosecute myself. That wasn't even in her purview at all.
Technically, the situation was an arrestable offense. That's what we've been told. You didn't stop. So it looks like you did get special treatment for being the DA.
You know, I get back to, you know,
Look at the face. The looking for something that's lost. Watch it. Here it is.
For being the DA.
You know, I get back to, you know, I made a mistake.
Now, Sandra, you've said at least 6 to 8 times that you made a mistake. Now, you made a mistake in something simple, traffic law. You clearly violated the traffic law. You were 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, which would have got the rest of us points on our driver's license and a jacking up of our premiums on car insurance. But you keep saying that you're making mistakes. You're making mistakes in the simple things in life. What about prosecutorial complexity and the role that you have within the community as a district attorney? How can we be assured that you, who makes multiple mistakes, I mean gross mistakes on something so simple, how do we know you're not making mistakes on things that are more complex, that have to do with messing with the lives, disturbing the lives, maybe even destroying the lives of so many people in our community? How can anyone ever be assured, even 1% assurance, that you're not making mistakes and things that are way less simple than just pulling over and taking your lumps? I think that would be, put a 1 in the room if you think that would be an appropriate question for somebody who keeps saying, I just made a mistake. I just made a mistake. It was a comedy of errors. Man, you can't even get these things right. And people are standing before you. You have in your hand the power to put somebody away. And some of these cases are complex. There's a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of people that need to be interviewed. There's a lot of information that needs to be unearthed and brought to light. Major complexities. And you're making these mistakes? I can't have any confidence in somebody like that. That they're going to do the right thing. Boy.
I have to ask because, we sort of got tipped off on this early last week, and we started making some calls. Your statement comes out, and your statement says, I had no intention of using my position for a benefit, and no one is above the law. Yet it very clearly looked like in that video you thought you were above the law. Did you not think that the body camera video was going to come out?
Watch, this is a long pause. Watch the long pause.
The first
Watch this long pause.
Camera video was going to come out?
The first statement went out for the sake of transparency. I wanted to make sure that I was being transparent in what I did. I've always been very clear about, what I've done.
Anytime a politician or a lawyer tells you that they're being transparent or they're interested in transparency, you can bet, like put it all on black, you can bet that they're not interested in transparency, but in promoting obscurity. When you hear a politician, Obama was really good, this, let me be clear. When they're telling you that they're about to be clear, they are about to be as unclear as you can possibly get. They're going to muddy the well. They're going to pollute the spring. They're going to make those things that could have been clear extremely cloudy and fill the room with smoke so you can't see what's going on. Let me be clear. Be frickin' S.
In this office. At that point, I wasn't even thinking about the body-worn camera. I just wanted to make sure that it was out there that I got pulled over by the Webster police and I got a speeding ticket and I had pled guilty to it.
Have you ever called a chief in the community before for a favor like this?
No.
Have you ever asked someone
I don't know that I have watched a lot of body language videos and facial expressions when somebody's lying. And this right here, and this right here, this look, when somebody's doing this, you see politicians do this a lot. It's almost like it's a high percentage chance that they are absolutely not being forthcoming. They're lying. They are obscuring what the truth actually is. Same with the pursed lips. No. No.
favor like this?
No.
Have you ever asked someone to not write a ticket for you because you're the DA?
No.
Have you gotten tickets before?
That looks like I got my hands caught in the cookie jar look. What cookie, Mama? What cookie, Mama? I don't see any cookies.
Gotten tickets before in Webster. Do you think that you can still effectively be the district attorney here in Monroe County? And do you see yourself still prosecuting cases in a courtroom?
I would ask the community for my forgiveness. I would ask
the community for my forgiveness. Please, Sandra, give us your forgiveness. You can't even construct sentences right. It's not even logical. I messed up. I was a cruddy person. I was a moron. I made a litany of mistakes, but I would ask the community for my forgiveness. If I was the community, I'd be like, Sandra, please forgive me. I don't know. Maybe this was a Freudian slip.
Ask them to look at my 32-and-a-half-year career. I would ask them to look at how I handle cases.
Oh, we'll be looking at your 32-year career. We want to find out who you put away unjustly. We don't trust you as a prosecutor.
And especially to look at the last year and the cases that I've, prosecuted for this community and judge me on that, not judge me on for what I did that afternoon. It was terrible. It was a bad judgment call. I made some mistakes and I wish I could take them back, but
Wow.
I can't. Now I own them.
I should string together bad judgment call, mistakes, mistake after mistake, bad judgment call. I made a bad decision. I was having a bad day. I have all these excuses, but I'm not using them as excuses. What a prosecutor.
And I will be responsible for them. And whatever happens, I will take the consequences.
Did you ever consider resigning?
No. I was elected to serve this community and I will continue.
Now that looked like the truth. Look at her face. Look at her face.
Did you ever consider resigning?
It's not this. It's not. No. I genuinely think she just told the truth. No, I never did resign. Why would I resign? Who could do a better job than I am? I'm the prosecutor in Monroe County, the prosecutor. Watch this. Watch her face real close.
Did you ever consider resigning?
No. I was elected to serve this community and I will continue to serve this community.
That was resolute face. I think she really believes that. I think she's really telling the truth there.
A majority of the city, county, and state lawmakers from our area have called for sort of these outside independent investigations into your actions, both criminally and ethically. Do you welcome those?
Absolutely. I welcome anyone to look at what I did. I welcome anyone to look at the circumstances, surrounding that day.
Yeah, does anybody remember what Sandra is making? Does anybody remember what her annual salary is? It seems to me it was like, I think it was $250,000 a year without benefits. And correct me if I'm wrong, though.
And judge me like I do every other case that comes into this office. We judge criminal matters on the individual facts, what happened that day to that person. We look at the character and nature of the defendant, whether or not there was a victim, and I just ask them to treat me like that. Again, I can't tell this community enough how embarrassed and sorry I am.
The governor has weighed in on this. She has directed the Commission on Prosecutorial Conduct to investigate. You will be its first investigation, and it's my understanding that you initially did not support even the existence of this commission. So how do you sort of balance that in your mind about a statewide investigation by an agency that's fairly novice at this?
And just to be clear, I served 4 times as the president of the District Attorneys Association, and that was one of the issues that we were talking about, whether or not.
Yeah, I found the answer. In Monroe County, the highest paid was Bill Carpenter, the head of the Rochester Regional Transport Authority, who earned $251,000 last year. That was followed by District Attorney Sandra Doorley, who earned nearly $200,000, as district attorneys in New York have received raises in recent years on par with raises for state judges. So about $200,000 for Sandra. She doesn't want to give that up. That's a pot of gold for her. And money talks, follow the money, and you'll probably find the rainbow of corruption.
There should be a Commission on Prosecutorial Conduct. There's also a grievance committee. I'm agreeing to self-report to the grievance committee. I welcome any investigation. I will cooperate and, handle whatever punishment is handed down to me, because I am truly, truly sorry.
How will you earn back the trust of this community?
I want the community to look at what we do for this community. I want them to look at the good work of the members of this office. They are in court every day fighting for victims and making sure that our streets are safe. And I will continue to lead that. I will continue to make sure that we are doing what we need to do in order to improve the criminal justice system in Rochester.
I don't believe one single word that she says, except for when the interviewer asked her essentially, have you thought about stepping down from the position and resigning from the district attorney position? And she said, no. And I believe that. She didn't entertain that for one moment. And why would she? She's got the gravy train. Why would she step off of the gravy train when somebody's that corrupt and they're engaged in that high level corruption and they really think that they're somebody when they're nothing? I don't see anybody ever giving up that ring of power. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And those who love power and have tasted power will not relinquish that power. The next thing I want to talk about is encounters with law enforcement, policy enforcers, where they don't get what they want. They want you to kowtow. They want you to bow down. They want you to kiss the ring. They want you to lick the boot, munch on the leather. And I love it when somebody stands up and says, no, ain't going to do it. I have unalienable rights and you aren't going to come over here and steal them. You're not going to intimidate me out of them. You're not going to manipulate me into saying something that I shouldn't say. And here's one example from the YouTube channel, John Stewart 3. And this is a couple years back, but it's still relevant for our day and age.
Sir,
Yes.
may I ask you to leave the bus?
You don't have the right to ask me to leave the bus.
People, I want to put this to rest, at least in the live stream format. Tina Blast says, here's the deal. Uncensored, please. Don't delete my comments. Ain't nobody, I don't have very many moderators. And one of the reasons I got rid of all my moderators a year ago or so is because moderators kept deleting comments. And I don't censor my channel. The only people that I would request be put in timeout during a live stream are people who are constantly blitzing and spamming the comments where it's actually infringing on other people's right to say whatever they want to in the comment section. And that's, even then, it's curtailed with, I just put them on timeout. If they do it again, put them on timeout again. And then I'll just issue, like, hey, stop spamming, because you're actually violating the rights of other people, and violating other people's rights means you violated the golden rule, and who needs somebody like that around? But I've never, ever deleted one single comment. And I've seen some horrific comments come through my channel over the last decade. I don't do it because I think sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. The sunlight of truth will shine on the darkest night of evil and expose it. So I want people to talk. I want people, when you write something, when you say something, it comes out of the depths of your heart, or else it can't be on your lips. It came from inside of who you are. Whether you said it on accident or purpose, and I know sometimes we say things that we don't necessarily mean, but it was still in there to come out. How much more when the thought process is churning and you actually type it out and then you have to hit enter. Now we really know who you are. So say whatever you want to, but for people to blame me for taking down comments, YouTube does it all the time. I can't tell you how many videos I've posted. You'll notice most of my videos, well, I don't know about most, at least half, maybe 60% of my videos don't have a pinned comment. I put a pinned comment under almost every one of my videos, and YouTube deletes my pinned comment on my own channel. So I understand being a little disturbed and a little infuriated about censorship. I'm getting censored on my own channel. So when you see comments disappear, and I see that also, I leave messages and comments on other people's videos because I want to interact and I want to help them with their algorithm. And I hit the like button and I do all the stuff to other channels that I would want done to my channel. They want that interaction. They want that engagement, that audience engagement. But if you look under, like I like to leave comments under James Freeman's videos, under Long Island Audit's videos, under a whole lot of channel content creators' videos, and they disappear. I go back to them and they're gone. They're gone. Or it says that there was a reply there and you go to the reply and it's hidden and I can't see it. Maybe Trish can see it on her computer. Maybe you can see it on yours, but how many people can't see it if I can't see it? So there's a lot of censorship going on in the comment section during a live stream and under videos, under long form and short form videos. And it on my channel has nothing to do with me. And I don't have very many moderators. I think Brick Jones, he's a moderator, and some other ones. But I don't think they're doing it either. King Braveheart is one. I don't have many moderators. It's not really an issue of lack of trust. It's more like I feel better about communicating with my audience that absolutely no censorship is going on because I'm the only person with the power to censor and I'm not doing it. That's more what it's like. So yeah, to answer your question, I do not censor. All the censorship going on in the chat room right now, and I'm sure it's a lot, is from the owners of this platform. For some reason, they've written an algorithm to do that. So I would apologize for it, but it's not my fault. I hate that it's happening though. All right, getting back to this.
Do you have a bus pass?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it. You got anything on you? Weapons, anything like that? No, you don't. I asked the questions. Now, listen to me. He's going to tell you.
Oh my gosh. When they do that, it's like, no. I'm in control here. I'm the one answer the questions. That's why I like that one Detective Jardine or Jardin or whatever his name is that was confronted by James Freeman. James Freeman's like, no. I'm asking the questions right here. And Jardine's like, no. Oh, wait a second. I've never heard anybody say that. I'm asking the questions right here. And then James Freeman goes, have you been to the bar today? Have you been drinking? And then ask the other officer, hey, do you know if this guy's been at the bar? We should actually put a 1 in the room if you want to revisit that. That is the gift that keeps on giving. That video right there, I've told James this before. That video right there should have 100, 200 million. It should be going on the billionth view. That is one of those unique law enforcement interactions that you just don't see anywhere else. Okay, well, there's a lot of ones in the room. We'll watch it after this, man. It's always good for a laugh, and it's always very instructive.
He's
Get off the bus. You don't get off the bus, I'm going to take you off the bus.
I'm with my wife. He cannot tell me what stop to get off.
Yes, he can.
No, he cannot.
Let me see your bus
You will
pass.
not. You can legally do anything you
Let me
want
see
to
your
do.
bus pass.
But I would not get off this bus until my stop. Right. Keep that camera right where it is. Your name and badge number, sir.
Royal 6611, and you are being audio visually recorded as well.
Osborne 13148. You're being audio and video recorded. So what's going on? He didn't pay or what's happening?
I don't know if he paid or not. He
Exactly.
never showed me the pass. I asked him for a pass. He tried to tell me, you know,
So
my
this is the
time.
pass? Is this the pass?
Don't tell me shit.
Why didn't you show him the pass when he asked to see a pass?
Listen, you don't know what happened, okay?
Listen
I got
to
on the
me.
bus before he...
You raise your voice to me, you're gonna have a problem.
I got freedom of speech, okay?
Slow it.
You better stop.
Listen to me.
The cop goes, you raise your voice to me, you're going to have a problem. He's got the most raised voice on the bus, and he's going to tell other people not to raise his voice. Good job, officer. We can always count on you for some hypocritical pathway that you're going to take, huh?
I'm asking you a question.
I don't answer questions.
No, I'm asking you questions. If he has to see a bus pass, why
Like
didn't
I
you show
just
it to him?
told you again.
Why didn't you? Why didn't you?
Well, I
show
got on the bus prior to him getting on the bus. I had already paid my fare. I don't have to answer to him. And I get off on any stop I please to get off on.
This bus opens doors, all 3 doors. Nobody checks passes. So
Do you
that's
know
our job to get on and physically check passes.
you're not going to harass me on the bus?
Okay, so do you hear what he-
officer.
do you hear what he said
I don't
to you?
care what he said.
Okay, so
May I
listen.
have my legal pass back,
This
sir?
is his job. Okay? You
Thank
don't know who or
That's
when
my-
they came.
You see what
That's
this
her
said?
pass.
This
That's
is
her pass.
I'm her attendant, okay?
That's her pass.
It's
sir.
my pass. I'm in possession of this,
So
okay?
you want to tell me?
No, I've told you.
You got an ID on you?
I don't need an ID.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
Let me see your ID.
accused of crime.
Let me
Well, if I
see your
accused of
ID.
crime, I ask you a question.
Right now, we are investigating. So
Am
we're
I
trying to
being
investigate.
detained?
Right now, you are. If you're going.
What number what crime am I?
You know what? If you have a position like this, and this is your job day in, day out, and you just find yourself harassing people you're supposed to be protecting and serving, you got to go home at the middle at night when there's no sound, it's all quiet, there's nobody around, and you got to think to yourself, what the hell am I doing? I'm making the world obviously a worse place. If you just have a scintilla of conscience left, you got to be asking yourself, like my city is filled with evil people doing evil things. There's constantly thefts, broken windows, there's rapes, children are being abused, there's murders going on, there's unsolved, there's cold cases that I could be a part of, and I'm on a bus messing with some dude about what some bus driver said about the fare. I mean, what? Just to end my life now. I mean, what good is it? How can I continue to go on? And all I am is a freaking order follower. It would be so discouraging, man, if you had a conscience. But If you're an order follower who doesn't have a conscience and it's all about making that big bank paycheck of 98,000 or 115,000 or 150,000 or whatever you're making, Ossifer, money talks for these guys. And as long as it's profitable to do wrong, they will continue to do wrong. And they have no incentive or no desire to leave. And then when they're retired at 67 or 70, whenever they decide to get off the force, they look back on their lives and like, what do I have to show for it? Americans hate law enforcement partly because of me.
See this.
What crime have I committed or about to commit?
Because for security, you didn't show them a bus pass.
That's not a crime.
Okay, listen to me. It is if you're
That's
gonna,
not a
you
crime.
can't be on the bus
What
without
is
a bus pass.
What is it, a felony or a misdemeanor?
That's a misdemeanor.
Okay, then you arrest me for not having a bus pass.
Anybody has a pass?
That's what you do.
Okay,
You
so
arrest
can we
me
go
if
if
I
he's got a
don't.
bus pass?
You go ahead.
Okay, listen. Next time
I'm
they
not
ask
asking
for a
no
bus pass,
question. I'm not asking any questions.
you give it
You
to them.
dismiss.
That's it.
You dismiss. I got no more to say to you.
Next time they
I
get
got
one?
no more to say to you.
Okay, good.
You dismiss.
Oh, he can't leave. The cop cannot leave without getting a directive. He didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get what he initially came for. The angry vet just dropped. This is crazy. Within the last 7 days, the angry vet has gifted, let's see, this makes like 350 Here's the Deal memberships on this channel. The angry vet alone, single-handedly, has increased the memberships on this channel by 350. Because one live stream he gave 150. Last night's live stream, or the night before, he gave 150 memberships. That's 300. And now he just gave 50 memberships. Again, that's 350. So give a big hats off to, and a thank you to the Angry Vet for gifting you a 1 month membership to this channel. Thank you, Angry Vet.
We are dismissed. You dismiss. I told you I wasn't getting off this bus.
Have a good day, sir.
I love that guy's attitude. I told you I wasn't getting off this bus.
Now you can proceed on.
You got
Matter of fact, you know what? Hey, pull it down. I'm getting off. Pull it down. I'm getting off right now. Hey, done?
I like that. I'll get off when I want to get off. I like that.
Yeah, you get on when I get off. Pull it down. I told you I wasn't getting off.
The reality of freedom, guys, is rooted in the spirit of rebellion and disobedience to authority. That's where freedom comes from. Freedom is the opposite of tyranny.
Police don't move nothing. Now I'm gonna get off because I want to get off. Open the thing.
Could you hold this step and blow it too?
Yeah.
People are asking how you get a gifted membership. I have no idea, but if you're interested in being a member, it's only $2.99 a month. So if you want to become a member and gift to somebody else, I don't know how you actually get a membership when somebody buys one for you. I don't know if it just comes to you or you have to click a button or what. I think that's it on this one. All right, let's, I promised you James Freeman. So we are going to go to James. This is the classic, and they have stalled. 9.4 million views is fan-frickin-tastic in 4 years. But in my opinion, it's not enough for the entertainment value and the education that the masses will get out of this video. This is from James Freeman. This is Detective Mike Jardine or whatever his name is, Sardine. Let's take a look at it.
Are you with somebody in particular? Or
Just me.
watching you take pictures of our parking lot? What's this about?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, this is a police law enforcement parking lot.
Matter of fact, do me a favor, guys. I'm going to put the link to this video in the chat room, and I'll try to remember to put it in the pinned comment, although they disappear quite frequently. If you could do me a favor and do James a favor and go blitz this video and share this, not only watch it, but share it with everybody you know. He's got 9.4 million views, and then I'll get with James Freeman and see if he got a bump on this video right here. There's 500 people in here. right now, if we all share this to the masses and another person shares it with somebody else, we could literally get, 100,000 views on this in the next week or so. So let's share this out. I'll put the link again after we get done watching this.
Oh. Who are you?
I'm Detective Mike Jardine.
Oh, yeah? What are you working on? What are you working on right now?
Several cases.
Okay.
What is this about?
Are you working on something right now?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
All right, what are you working on? What are you working on?
It doesn't matter what I'm working on. I'm asking you, what are you doing here taking pictures?
Where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out and about a little bit?
What is this about? Who are you?
I'm asking the questions. Where have you been today? Have you been here?
I'm asking the questions. You're on this property. You're on this property, so
Look.
you need to answer my questions.
Are you drunk?
He's got Jardine all flustered, man. Watch when, I love it when you ask a question that wasn't expected or make a statement that a cop doesn't expect, because they start looking at you like a horse staring at a new gate. It completely catches them off guard.
Or have you been out and about a little bit?
Listen.
What is this about? Who are you?
I'm asking the questions. Where have you been today?
No,
have you been here?
I'm asking the questions. You're on this property. You're on this property, so you need to answer my questions.
Are you drunk? Why are you slurring your words today? So have you
Oh
been
my
here all
gosh.
day, or have you been out? Have you been to the bar today at all?
Who are you?
Have you been to the bar today?
Who are you?
I'm an investigator.
Investigator for who?
Investigative journalist. I investigate corrupt officials. So I'm wondering, where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out at the bar at all?
Working on a fraud case. That's
Okay.
where I've been.
Okay. Have you been to the bar at all today?
No.
Okay. You got any drugs on you? Have you used any drugs today?
What a ridiculous question.
That's not a ridiculous question. Do you know where he's been?
Somehow it's a ridiculous question when you ask it of the cops, but it's policy if the cops ask that of you. I promise you guys, all the giftings and the super chats that you give during this live stream, I will call them out at the end of the video. I promise.
Today?
I don't keep tabs on them.
Oh man, we got to go back. Listen, now he gets the other cop involved to try to get this cop to narc on Jardine.
Today?
What a ridiculous question.
That's not a ridiculous question. Do you know where he's been today?
I don't keep tabs on them.
Okay.
Out and about.
Do you know what time his shift started?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Does he usually drink on the job, or no? Not that anybody knows of for sure. Have you guys ever breathalyzed him while he's been on the job? Would you submit to a breathalyzer for me right now?
You're ridiculous. You know that? You've got about 5 minutes to get out of here right now.
Or what?
Or what? You're on
My
law
property.
enforcement. This isn't your
Yeah, it is.
property.
Shut the hell up. Get out of here now.
What'd you say?
I said shut up and get out
No,
of here.
you get out of here now.
Hey, you better get your boy.
Get your boy.
Get your butt back in your office
You
and do
shut
your
up.
job.
You shut up and get
You
out
get
of
your
here.
butt back in your office and do your job.
No,
Mike.
You quit drinking on the job. You understand me?
whatever.
You punk ass. You get your ass back in there. You don't look back here again.
Look, and then he does. Like,
I'll be watching you.
James literally has him attached to strings. Like, James is the puppet master, and he's moving this guy by his will, telling him not to do something. Because when you tell an authoritarian not to do something, it's just like telling that kid, hey, don't, I'm going to be gone for about 10 minutes. When I come back, I better see all those cookies in the cookie jar, and they can't help themselves. They got to do it. Look at this. Tells him not to turn around, and he just intentionally turns around anyway, with emphasis.
You get your ass back in there. You don't look back here again. I'll be watching you. You are now under investigation.
Oh my
To be
God.
clear, it has not been proven that Detective Mike Jardine is or was drinking on the job.
Mike Jardine. So give James Freeman a follow. If you are not subscribed to him, subscribe to him. I guarantee you, just go to his channel and look at the most popular videos and just start going down the list. You will not be disappointed. I say that without reservation. Really good stuff out of James Freeman. So there's the link right here. Let's see if we can't revitalize this video right here. It definitely needs 100 million views at the very least. Now this guy keeps his cool, and he verbally manhandles these cops. These cops are trying to get information out of him, and he will not relinquish it. Very interesting.
Okay. You will be answering. It's okay. You're being filmed. You can film us. We'll film you. So I'm going to ask to see your ID.
No, thank you.
Okay. You're going to have two options. Okay. We're going to come in there.
You got two options. It's going to go one of two ways for you. Here's the deal, partner. We're letting you know we're in control, not you. We're here to serve and protect ourselves.
You are not allowed access to my apartment.
Place you under arrest. Okay.
You don't have. I'm not driving my car. I don't have to supply ID.
Oh, you're being investigated for it's a situation.
I had an argument with a guy that's not supposed to be living upstairs.
Okay, over what?
Because they won't lock the basement door.
Okay, was there a physical altercation between you two?
No.
Okay.
Good. See, we're trying to just.
All we're trying to figure out here.
Sort through it. That's all.
Because I get one, his side.
That's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to sort through. We're here as the good guys. You can trust us. Now, give us your name.
Story, I want to get your side.
Nobody touched anybody. Okay. He didn't touch me, and I didn't touch him.
Okay. Well, in that case, it can be a matter of record. Can I just see your ID or get some information from you?
No, thank you.
What is your name?
I would rather not.
Well, I just need a name.
I need a name to
document that we were here.
And then that'll be it.
Resident of the first floor.
That doesn't work.
I'm not going to supply my name. I'm not driving.
Let me explain something to you. Would you want to be placed under arrest
for what?
For not cooperating?
I'm cooperating.
Impeding our investigation.
There
I'm not
you go.
impeding any investigation.
You have got to be a low-life individual to pull out a threat like that. You don't give us your name, we're going to arrest you for obstructing our investigation. They want that investigation. They want to collect that data so they can investigate.
It's not my responsibility to help you with your investigation.
Amen.
Yeah, it is.
I have the Fifth Amendment right to remain quiet.
Enough.
I have a Fifth Amendment right to remain quiet.
You're going to talk yourself into handcuffs. It's the.
I don't wish to answer any questions.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
No, it's not.
You want to go to jail
for not answering questions?
We're doing an investigation right now.
So you're obstructing the administration.
I'm not obstructing anything.
Yes, you are.
I told you there was an argument, and that was it.
Let me explain something to you. I am telling you you are, and I can place you in handcuffs for it. I'm trying to avoid that because
then you can expect that he's going to be in handcuffs because he's not going to give them the information that they want.
Ridiculous. We don't just give us a name. Then we're out of here.
Give us your name and some information.
Will. That's it.
Will? Last name, Will.
I'm not giving my last name.
We need a last name.
No.
Okay, so we're going to place you under arrest because you don't want to give us your name.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can't.
Given his first name was way too much. I didn't know he gave his name.
I don't have to supply my name.
Okay, so you want to be arrested.
Come on, cat. Let me get my cat out of the way here.
You're going to just end up breaking your door.
I told you I have to get my cat out of the way. Hold on, G. Go. 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 G. Go. Get.
He's spraying. What the heck? Did he just fart?
G.
I gotta play that back.
G. Come on, go.
I think he farted. Hold on. Guys, he farted. Okay, here he goes. I'm playing it back again. This is hilarious. All right, I'm going back 5 seconds. Listen. Is this a fart? Man, that sounds like that sounds like something came out of that, man. We need an investigative wipe to go with that. This guy doesn't give a flip. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay, I'm playing it again. This is just purely for humor right now at this point. I know it's gratuitous, but we got to do it. Parts of freedom, says Dr. Evils. Oh my God.
G.
He's chasing G the cat around with a spray bottle and just ripping him out, man.
Come on, go.
Sounds tight. Frank Pants is like, this guy's never been to prison. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I am crying, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Can we have a last name so we could get out of here and be done with this?
This is comedy gold.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you this here, okay?
Yes, sir.
The guy upstairs is not on the lease to live upstairs.
Okay.
I asked him why he can't lock the basement door, which is access to do laundry.
Okay.
I have to go out and lock it all the time, and the landlady wants it locked.
Okay.
They've been told numerous times to lock the basement door.
Okay.
Also, they run around upstairs making believe or unaware, or making believe they're unaware that anybody lives underneath.
Okay.
Till I could have called the cops at 11:30, 12:30 at night.
You guys are hilarious in the comments section about that fart. Hilarious. Somebody said farts of freedom. Somebody said, damn that floorboard.
Because of the noise I have
Yeah, it was a loser floorboard.
to listen to.
Ken, call us. We'll come on.
But I didn't.
Okay.
I just endured it
Okay.
until I found him
Sure.
sitting outside tonight smoking a cigarette
Okay.
in the place that he's not on the lease to live in,
Okay.
whereas I am.
So wouldn't you want this all documented?
No,
So if there's an issue, you can
No.
justify that.
no. I had an argument with him,
Okay.
and that was it. He didn't touch me. I didn't touch him.
Okay.
Actually, he came over here. I didn't go over there.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't watch this all the way through, Mask, but it came highly recommended. It's got like 1 million views on it. It's a couple years old, but I was recommended it, and they said it was a good look. But No Mask, No Way says, why the F is this guy giving legitimacy to these cops? You don't owe them explanations. I agree. But you know what? We're all at a certain point in our journey, and there's certain things that we know now that we didn't know then. There's certain things we're going to know then that we don't know now. And, you know, it's all just it's a learning experience.
Okay?
Why did he come over here?
I don't know.
Did you exchange words with him?
I told you we had an argument.
Okay. But I was making sure it was before or after the argument.
During the argument.
Okay.
During the argument.
Okay. Well, we're going to document all that, so it's a matter of record. Can we just have a last name for you, and we'll be on our way?
I really don't understand why I have to give you my last
They
name.
make it sound
So
so
I could say
harmless.
I spoke to
You
so-and-so.
spoke to Will.
Will.
You spoke to Will, the tenant that you came to talk to. Apartment A of this particular
well,
address. I don't feel I have to give my last name. I'm not impeding on anything. I'm not obstructing.
What you feel, and what
And I'm not driving my vehicle where I have to produce ID.
I'm not here for any vehicle.
Right. You're asking me to produce ID and identify myself.
Because a dispute occurred on your porch with the neighbors. So just give us a last name and we're out of here. Simple.
It's very simple, sir.
I gave you my first name.
Okay, and last name, Will.
I do not want to give my last name.
I know you don't want to. But
Right. I don't believe I am obligated to.
But I'm telling you, Yon.
Am I legally obligated to?
Yes.
What is the statute? What is the statute and law that I am legally obligated to give my last name in my residence?
Well, we're investigating a dispute. So I need to document the parties involved.
That's it.
Otherwise, you're
come on. Help me out. I need to document the parties involved. You never want your name, your full name and your address to go into some police database. You never want it. Nothing good is going to come of that. So when they're like, come on, dude, I'm just doing my job. Well, I'm doing my job too. I'm doing my job as an American to actually protect my person. and protect my property and protect myself from road pirates. That's what I'm doing. This is all for public safety.
I'm not obstructing any. It's not my responsibility to help you with your investigation.
Amen.
I am allowed under the Constitution to remain silent.
Not allowed.
I don't have to identify myself unless I'm driving a motor vehicle in the state of New Jersey. That's when I legally have to identify myself. If I'm walking down the street, I don't have to identify myself. New Jersey is not a stop and ID state.
I'm not stopping you because you're walking down the street.
I'm in my apartment and you're bothering me.
I responded here for a dispute.
I didn't call you.
Doesn't matter if you called. Okay? You're a party involved. Correct?
I gave you my first name.
I'm just asking for a last name, and then we could complete our report and we're done. We're going in circles here.
Right, but I don't believe I'm legally obligated to supply you with my name at all.
Okay, what you believe and what actually is the case are two different things.
Actually, I don't have to answer any questions because I'm not obligated to answer any questions.
We can bring you down the station and fingerprint you.
No, you can't fingerprint.
Can you imagine threatening another man like that? Oh, you're not going to give us what we want? Well, we're going to pull out our unlimited force and power and our unlimited resources, and we'll do whatever it takes to bring you to bear. We're going to make you submit, buddy. You don't give up. You don't make it the easy way. We're going to make it the hard way for you. I can't stand. That's psychopathic, guys. That is literally the outgrowth of being a psychopath. I am going to control you, and I'm going to get what I want from you, even though you don't want to give it to me. And I'm willing to use force, violence, coercion, deception in order to do it.
New Jersey is not a stop and identify state.
Somebody said, Brian, the last couple of days you did a live show talking about Trump. I was not able to finish it and can't find the show. Would you please say the title of the show and maybe put the link up? I think it was the live stream before last. But I can go over the 3 or 4 points that I talked about Trump because somebody gave me a super chat. I think it was last night. Somebody gave me a super chat saying that we need to vote Trump. He's basically going to rescue us and save us from this tyrannical, precarious situation that we find ourselves in. And I'm like, that's delusional. And I can go over those points if that's agreeable to you.
You can't do that.
Do you understand we're investigating a dispute that occurred on your porch?
Do you understand? I didn't call you.
I don't care.
And the guy that did call you isn't on the lease to live here.
You're one of the
Suspect for having an argument while I'm on my apartment?
Okay, so what if he says you actually threatened him with something?
But I didn't, and he didn't say that.
That's your word versus him.
But he didn't say that to you, otherwise you would have already done something about that.
I could say so.
He already fished and talking to him. He said he could leave. I heard that.
So people say things after the fact. I remembered him stating this. I remember him stating that.
Then he'd be falsifying a police record. Yes, he would.
Election comes after the fact.
Please.
Okay. All right. So you're not going to provide us with...
I gave you my name. My name is Will.
Will, last name, Will.
I really don't want to give you my last name. I don't believe that you'll be gone. I don't believe you'll be gone.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Please, sir. Yeah, because I want to stand here in the cold.
Oh, I have my door open in the cold, and I'm dressed just as warm as you are. Look, all I have is this little sweatshirt on.
Give us your last name and we're gone. We could complete our thing and we're out of here, man.
And what else is it? What did he tell you?
We're not going to go there. If you don't want to cooperate with me, we're not going to say...
See.
Oh, so you want me to bend over backwards for you, but you don't
What's your name and badge number?
Patrolman Lemandry. Actually, Sergeant Lemandry, badge number 55.
What's your name and badge number, officer?
Officer Bolcar, Booton Police Department, badge number 56.
And what's your name and badge number, officer?
Patrolman Cuesta, badge number 60.
Thank you.
Now, who are you, sir?
I'm Will, and I reside at this residence. You can look me up.
Will who?
All you have to do is do the address.
They feel like you're obligated to give your name because they gave their name and badge numbers per their policies.
First name, and you'll have my name.
Now, does your landlord state this gentleman shouldn't be here?
There's only 3 people on the lease, the 2 little babies and the woman. He's not on the lease. He's not on the lease. He's not supposed to be living here. I live down here. I know what goes on up there because they're loud. I just told you that. 12:30 at night.
All right, well.
12:30 at night. They're freaking making noise, and I don't bother you guys at 12:30 at night. Have a good night, officer.
Let me just real quickly segue into this Trump thing because I just posted something on my X page, formerly Twitter, and I wanted to play this for you because people get offended because they're into politics and they don't want to They don't want to believe that they are, but they're into the cult of personality. I want to play for you what Trump says here about law enforcement officers. And we're talking about he wants to initiate a widespread federal blanket of additional immunity to law enforcement. Listen to this.
We're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. So they're not prosecuted for doing their job. We'll take over the horribly run capital of our country, Washington, D.C., and clean up, renovate, and rebuild our capital city so that it's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime.
Wow. I'm going to play that again. And now when I play this kind of stuff, people are like, oh, you're with that defund the police crowd. You know, BLM and Antifa and all those guys who say defund the police are just as bad as the police for the same reasons, because they are willing to use force, violence, and coercion to manipulate other people. They're willing to go through cities like Buffalo and St. Louis and Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, and they're willing to wreck whole cities while they're calling for defund the police. Well, what are the police known for? They're known for destroying families, for destroying societies, for tearing us apart, for covering for the thin blue line in the midst of all their criminality. Same thing that BLM does. So when somebody tries to put me in the category of BLM or Antifa because I'm for defund domestic terrorism under the thin blue line flag, it's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It's a non sequitur. And with this Trump thing, anytime I come out against and speak the truth about Trump, which is, you know, come on, seriously, you really want blanket, federalized, qualified immunity for all law enforcement officers, in addition to the qualified immunity and civil asset forfeiture and traffic laws that they already have in their arsenal to launch against us? You really want that? And you really think I'm for Biden because I call out nonsense for Trump? They're both dangling from the same bankster strings. I always say aircraft cables because they are firmly fixed to those. So listen to what he says and tell me if you believe this. Is this the guy you want to vote for? Is this your champion? Is this your savior, your political messiah? Really?
We're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution.
I mean, think about that. Immunity from prosecution. This is why a Philip Brailsford from the Mesa Police Department can get away with murdering a Daniel Shaver. This is why a Matt Schneider can get away with terrorizing a Johnny Wheatcroft in front of his kids by tasing him 11 times, 2 of them in the groin. This is why the Glendale Police Department got away with what they got away with. This is why the Arvada Police Department was able to snuff out the life of Johnny Hurley after Johnny Hurley saved the Glendale Police Department, or members within the police department, by putting down an active shooter who was hunting police. And yet you got a guy right here who's like, no, we need to make them immune from prosecution. So you got this prosecution virus going on. They see good and justice and light as a virus that the workers of darkness, the domestic terrorists and the thin blue line gang should be immune from. Here's your booster shot of evil so that you can be immune from the sunlight of truth shining on you.
So they're not prosecuted for doing their job. We'll take over the horribly run capital of our country, Washington, D.C.,
We're going to take over Washington's District of Criminals. Another thing that Trump has against him is he's the only administration, Obama didn't even do this, that spearheaded and initiated the red flag law campaign, the extreme risk protection order that they call ERPOs, where you're actually guilty. Some anonymous caller can call in and say to an operator, without giving their name, completely anonymous, hey, Brian, I saw Brian at the grocery store today with a firearm to protect himself and his family. But we all got scared and we think he's a danger to himself and others. And you could literally they can give your address, they can follow you home and find out where you live, and then call this in. And then cops will show up at your door and confiscate your weapons. No charge, no trial, no due process of law. And Trump spearheaded that out of the Oval Office. He's the one that sat next to Diane Frankenstein, who's the premier gun grabber until Trump showed up and said, I don't know, Mike, I like due process first. I like take the guns first, due process second, Mike. It's a beautiful thing. And he had a lot of weapons. We got to take them from him. We'll do due process later. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to actually be guilty of a crime under probable cause that you have committed a crime before they can take any action against you. And then you have to be judged by a jury of your peers in a speedy fashion. And they have to bring evidence against you that you actually committed a crime or are plotting to commit a crime or whatever. Has to be evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, but not for Trump. No, he wants to take your firearms because you might be a danger to yourself and others. And then there's that he was bailed out back in the 1990s by the Rothschilds International Banking Cartel under Rothschilds Inc. by Wilbur Ross. 30 years later, that was back in 1994. 20 years later, he makes Wilbur Ross his commerce secretary. And then he makes Steve Mnuchin, a Goldman Sachs lifer, the head of the Treasury. And then he gives trillions of dollars to the big pharma industrial complex. And then he calls himself on Fox News the father of the VAXX. I mean, I could go all day with this. Clearly, he had the opportunity to investigate and arrest one of the most corrupt, scandalous, politically dirty politicians in the history of the United States, Bill and Hillary Clinton, and not only didn't do it, but gave them cover after, the inaugural meal, after his inaugural address, and he led the entire room into a standing room only, basically tribute to Bill and Hillary Clinton. They're wonderful people. They're great people. I should play all those. I did make a video that has all of these things. And then at the end of the video, I said, now, do you really back this guy? Is he really your savior? And then you know what people say? Well, I know that sucks, but he's the lesser of two evils. I got to choose the lesser of two evils. Well, in choosing the lesser of two evils, you do realize that you have still chosen evil, right? They are all playing for this. George Carlin is right. He was funny, but he was right. Very intelligent guy. I wish he was still here. Spewing a bunch of facts, weaving them all together, telling a tale, telling a story that was humorous, but also sobering. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Donald Trump is in it. Bill Clinton is in it. Hillary's in it. Joe Biden is in it, but you and I aren't in it. They're playing for the banksters. And another thing with Donald Trump, he increased the national debt far above, in 4 years, above and beyond what Obama did. He was on track to double the national debt above and beyond what any president has done before him. You thought it was bad under Bush? You thought it was bad under Reagan? You thought it was bad under Obama? You think it's bad under Joe Biden? Donald Trump's like,
and clean up, renovate, and rebuild our
Donald Trump's like, hold my beer. And what about the time that he signed his name to a $6.2 trillion bailout under the planned organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, according to James Bullard from the St. Louis Federal Reserve? What about that? So you're going to sit there and tell me that he's the savior? Don't get embroiled in and intertwined with red versus team red and team blue. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm an independent. We got to get out of this stuff, or we're going to continually be that proverbial dog or cat chasing their tail, never going anywhere, but, digging our own hole, getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Always that hope and that change. And then you keep getting deep. No, it's going to be different this time. Now we got this guy. We can set him on a pedestal. He'll help us. He'll relieve us of our burdens. He'll untighten the shackles and release the chains. No, he won't. Nope, it's going to be further deception. And the stranglehold will get even greater. Maybe we should go Democrat next time. Maybe we should go Republican. It's just a bunch of cockamamie nonsense. There's some other things that I want to talk about, but I didn't realize, man, we're almost at an hour and a half. I want to keep these down as short as possible. I don't want to do like a 5-hour live stream. But what was it? Oh, yeah. Let me go over the super chats here. Let me give you all a shout out. By the way, guys, super humbling that anybody would offer up any kind of support for this channel. I really appreciate it. If you feel like it and you feel like it's worth it, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon and share this information if you think it's going to benefit somebody. I would love a 5-hour Here's the Deal live stream. Maybe we'll do it one day. We'll do it complete with the call-in show and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get on here unless I have something substantial to give to you. And I don't want to waste I don't want to waste 1 second of your time, because once you spend that time, you don't get it back. So I don't think I'll ever have just let's just kick back and just ramble. I don't think, not much of what I have to say is I'm not a very interesting person. I have knowledge that I want to impart if it's worth it. And if you guys think it's not worth it, let me know. Kurt Weisel is member for 1 month, says YouTube channel, Josh Barker, I Hate Cops video. Oh yeah. I did that. I did a, let's see where we at here. Yeah. Let's go to, was that a video or a live stream? I did a video on Josh Barker. Yeah. I hate cops, but turns out he doesn't. Yeah, here it is right here. Let's see. There it is right here. ACAB confirmed by cop. Yeah, he actually confirms in this video that indeed whatever ACAB is true. Maybe we should do a live stream on this one, Tim. I don't know. I think I watch these things because they're instructive to me. There's the video that I did on him. I even left a message on his under his video. I don't think that he responded. I'm not sure if he did or not. Let's see. Oh, what I find interesting is that under his video, here, let me see if I can. Did I put the link to that? Yeah. No. Here it is. Yeah, I did. Look what he says underneath his video. You'll find this interesting. Where are we? I wonder if he still has it, because I did criticize what he said here. Oh yeah, check this out. Check this out. He admits this. After spending 13 years in the Army, 10 in Special Forces, I was diagnosed with PTSD. Now, I'm not downing anybody with PTSD or anxiety or depression, but usually when people are diagnosed with this, then they're on the pharma medication that goes along with it. And do you know what the warnings are on this pharma medication to get you, evened out from PTSD, anxiety, and depression? It ain't good. And it causes mood swings, and it messes with you on a very deep level. Do you think it's a good idea to give a badge, a uniform, and a gun, and the authority of the state and qualified immunity to somebody who has PTSD, anxiety, or depression? That is insane to me. This is not me condemning people who have it, but I think people who have that probably shouldn't have positions of power. That's super scary. And this might, because I don't know what percentage of it was. Is it like 30%? It's close to 30% of people who are on police forces, sheriff's departments, deputies all across America. 30% are veterans. And a large percentage of those actually suffer from these things. I don't think it's a good idea to give them authority over the general population who doesn't, most of whom don't suffer from that. You're seeing this more and more. I mean, big pharma is literally taking over the minds of the masses. I can't remember what percentage of Americans are on some kind of pharmaceutical medication, but it's a high number. And we're talking about psychological, the dealing with the psyche, mental medication. What's that called? It's escaping my mind here. But yeah, so I did a video on Josh Barker if you want to take a look at that. Happy Cow says, Brian, she said she was on the phone too. Yeah, she said she was on the phone, but she said she was on hands-free phone. She said it like 2 or 3 times. She goes, oh, no, hands-free. I was on the hands-free, because the cop said, well, you're not supposed to be on the phone either. And she's like, no, it's hands-free. So she could have been hands-free. Probably not, though. She's probably lying about that. James Fry has become a new member. Welcome aboard, James Fry. Thank you for being a new member. Ragnar drops a super chat and says, I tried reaching out to discuss fasting for health and to cure diseases. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of intermittent fasting. Big fan of autophagy. Guys, if you're experiencing, I'm not a medical expert or doctor or anything close to that. Just look up and research this term called autophagy. 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 It literally means self-eating. It's when your body gets into a certain point, and I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do this. I'm just saying research it. Look up Dr. Berg and Dr. Ekberg. They speak a lot on this, and the science and the studies is fascinating. Autophagy means self-eating. So when you enter this certain state, it starts after 18 to 24 hours of complete fasting, only drinking water fast. You're not consuming 1 calorie in that 18 to 24 hours. After the 18 to 24 hours, autophagy starts kicking in, and your body not only starts eating the cells, but it starts reorganizing and distributing those cells. It's not just an eating and digesting it. It's a restructuring, which is so freaking interesting to me because one of the cells that it attacks starts with C. I'm not going to say that on this channel because, people are going to, MED misinformation. So if you study anything tonight, and it's a short, no, there's a lot of information on it. Just study autophagy. Autophagy. As a matter of fact, maybe I can just throw it up on the screen. Do you want me to throw it up on the screen real quick? I mean, it's way beyond the scope of what we deal with on this, but what kind of freedom do you actually have if you don't have the freedom of health? If you want me to just like pull it up real quick and just show you something real quick about the organization of what autophagy is, let me know and I'll just throw it up. Just put a 1 in the room. In the meantime, I will continue with the super chats. Tried reaching out to discuss, Ragnar says, fasting for health and to cure disease. 92 Poop Hatch. What the heck? It became a new member. Welcome, Poop Hatch. Boda drops a super chat and says, what happened to your video about the 4 pigs that got cooked? Is it on Rumble? I didn't get a chance to watch it. Did YouTube delete it? Oh, holy cow. You talking about the live stream I did on the North Carolina thing? Let's see. Did it get deleted? Oh, man. Did it? No, it's right here. Let's see. Who was that? Boda? Let me drop the link there, Boda. 30s. Let me open this up. You had me concerned there. I didn't get a... Here's the one. That's the link right there. So there's ones in the room about autophagy. Yes, please. Okay, let's see. And then we'll get back to the super chats. I would like to help Chili. Did you get what I sent? Where did you send it? And how will I know it's you, Ragnar? Here it's called autophagy. Look at this. This is so interesting. This is what I spend the majority of my time doing, just like studying and researching and finding out, hey, how can I better myself, not only spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, but also physically. There it is. Oh, that means I got to move this over right there. Autophagy is a highly conserved, I can't even pronounce that word, cellular recycling process. So it's basically recycling and reorganization through the degradation of cytoplasmic organelles, proteins, and micromolecules or macromolecules, and the recycling of the breakdown products. Autophagy plays important roles in cell survival and maintenance. Guess what you release during autophagy? Take a stab at the important thing that you release during autophagy. And there's only 2 other ways you can release this particular thing. You can release growth hormone within yourself through autophagy, through REM sleep, and through high intensity interval training. And you want to release growth hormone because you want your bones to become stronger, especially as you're entering, your 50s, 60s, 70s. You want to go into your later years with as strong and dense of bone mass as you can, as strong a muscles and dense muscles as you can with as little fat as you possibly can. Not crazy. Now, we're not talking about 3%, but a lower body fat. You want to be you want to be cardiovascularly strong going into your 60s, 70s. I'll tell you, you want to be at 70 years old, you want to be feeling like you're 20 or 30. You want to wake up every morning and go, man, I feel like I'm 18. That's how I feel. My neck can move. I have good flexibility. Work on your flexibility. Work on your strength. Do resistance training. Do high intensity interval training. Fast. Eat in moderation. Don't ever eat any junk food. Ever. Don't ever poison yourself with the toxins of alcohol or smoking or all this vaping that people are into, putting glass into the alveoli of your lungs. It's just crazy. If you guys want to have, maybe I should, people have told me that I should start another channel. I love talking about this stuff. I love learning about it. Now, if you think it'd be a good idea, let me know. Vitamin D3, vitamin B complex. Yeah, that's all so important, King Braveheart. I like my M&Ms. Yeah, everybody's going to live their own life. William Babbitt gifted 5 Here's the Deal memberships. William Babbitt's been a member for 3 months. Thanks for the content, Brian. Thank you, William. Appreciate you supporting the channel. How did I skip? The Angry Vet isn't even on my list. I don't know why it's not there. David drops the super chat, says, I really wish people would stop perpetuating this phrase, stop in ID state. Me too. Ragnar says, I would like to help Chili. Did you get what I sent? We talked on a stream recently. You told me to send it to High Impact Flicks. Seems like I talked to a lot of people about that. Maybe send it to me right now again, Ragnar. Because I get, I don't know, I get kind of blitzed with a flurry of emails daily and messages and amino acids, protein. Yeah, you need BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. And it's all really simple. Once you learn it, give yourself a week to learn all this stuff and then, weigh your food and try to figure out how much protein. Prioritize protein in your meals. Don't eat anything else. Don't eat any carbs or fats. Eat the protein first and then eat the good fats second. Don't limit fats and then minimize your carbs and make sure your carbs don't have a bunch of sugar. Eliminate all table sugar. Nobody ever should be drinking Coke or Pepsi or Diet Coke or any of that stuff is trash for you. Alcohol is literally a toxin. But do what you want, whatever makes you life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. I'm not telling anybody what you need to do. It's just like, if you want good health, there are some behaviors. And one of those behaviors, one of the best behaviors for good health happens to be, in the opinion of some, fasting. I love eating healthy. Man, Trish makes the best, most flavorful salads. Never put dressing on any of the salads. It's just such good stuff. Still party like a rock star and function like a locomotive, says like, I never heard that. I bottle my own tea, same as canning, says Raven R. It'd be cool to get a live stream going, maybe on a separate channel, because this is, like I said, way beyond the scope of it. Can we have America without good cold beer? To each his own. It's not for me. I'm not a beer or alcohol drinker. I don't smoke anything. A demon would tell you not to fast, says Bugalow. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I think I read everything. And a big shout out to the Angry Vet for gifting the other 50 Here's the Deal memberships, which makes 350 for the week, which is crazy to me. And if you haven't already, look at my last video that highlights the Angry Vet. That's this one right. Where is it? Where was it? Right there.
Here's the deal.
So here's the deal.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
Yeah,
check that out. I just think, man, it just seems like there's suppression going on. Only 4.5 thousand views in 5 hours on a 500,000 or 250,000 subscriber channel. What is going on? Maybe my videos suck. I don't know. I mean, that is definitely a reality that it could suck. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance, and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I'm going to join my day with the family. I hope you do too. And if you're going to be found guilty of anything today, make sure you're found guilty of being excellent, being kind, being noble, and being loving, and being brave. I'll see you guys in the next video.